And I'm going to invite Addison and Emily to come forward as our two senior speakers today. It's wonderful to have them both, and I think you're in for a real treat. Addison.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Graduation is one of those in-between places. It's a threshold where familiar ends and something new begins. And as I stand here at that threshold, I've been thinking about where love has found me, and one place it always truly found me was right here at Good Shepherd. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Addison Rose Greek. I have only been coming to Good Shepherd for about 2.5 years now, and that is solely due to the Riddle family, Charlotte in particular. Char and I became best friends during my sophomore year, and I never would have expected the one-time sleepover, then going to church with her, to turn into what it has. I'm coming to church as often as possible and being as involved as possible. Growing up, I was what we consider a seasonal churchgoer. My family and I attended church on Easter and occasionally throughout the year. During the few yearly visits, I attended Wofford Church in Williamsburg, Kentucky with my Aunt Dodie and Uncle Ilis, as well as Southside Baptist Church in Sebring with my Aunt Vicky, Sister Sloan, and Brother Davis. But being here in Palm Beach County, I had never found a church that stuck with me, simply due to the fact that I'm a picky person. I'm picky about my food, I'm picky about my friends, how I spend my time, and everything in between. But somehow Good Shepherd met my standards and more. There was nothing for me to ever complain about, besides getting up early even though our service starts at 10 a.m. Good Shepherd has become a second home, a safe place, with more people that I can count on than I can with my fingers and my toes. Before I started to attend Good Shepherd, I was a completely different person. I feel as though I was more stuck up. It was my way or the highway. I didn't care what people thought of me. I was who I was, and nothing could change that. I truly do believe that is one of the reasons that Charlotte Riddle pushed me to go to church with her for the first time. We had constantly had conversations on ways that I needed to change. I was not the person I was at the beginning of high school. High school had changed me, and not in a good way. Between my long discussions with Charlotte and Sophie Riddle, as well as constantly coming to church and finding my place here at Good Shepherd, I began to change. Father Groff, Father Derek, Mr. David, Mr. Dr. Ian, Miss Beth, Miss Mary Lou, the Riddle, Grasshoff, Smith, and Guery families, as well as many more individuals and families here at Good Shepherd, have helped prepare me for this new journey in life and create the person I am now, the person who stands here in front of you today. I have had various memorable moments here at Good Shepherd. Although there are others, such as Artie's party, bake sales, food packing, and the fall festival, my favorite memory comes from going to camp last summer. We were constantly doing different activities at Cayuga. My favorite part of the entire trip was the lake. We were able to hang out and swim in the lake during our hour of free time each day. We even got to see a deer swimming in the lake in front of the cross. It was a true moment where I felt God's presence. It created such valuable time between myself and my fellow youth group members that attended the trip. And it is a time that I am sure I will never forget. Having the chance to go to Cayuga Youth Week completely changed my perspective on various things. I thought it would just be a regular trip, but it turned into something deeper. It was there that I felt my relationship with the Lord grow in a real way, not just in the quiet moments with God, but through the friendships that were strengthened too. Being with people like Charlotte and Sophie Riddle, Emily Smith, Jack Grasshoff, Zachary, Jonah, and Elliot Guery, Tasha and Grayson Burlingame, Dominic Chint, and Lillian Kreshniak, I became more than just a part of this youth group. I feel like I became a part of the Good Shepherd family. That week reminded me that faith isn't something we do alone, it's something that lives in community. But I don't think I would have ever made it to Cayuga or even stayed in youth group without someone like Miss Beth. She has shown up for us every single week, not because she has to, but because she chooses to. She has helped us grow in our faith and how we see the world, and she has given each of us someone we can rely on no matter what. When my mom and papa passed away at the end of 2023 and beginning of 2024, I went through one of the hardest times in my life. I struggled with grief, and I'll be honest, I even questioned my relationship with God. I didn't understand why they had to go, and it broke me in so many ways. But Miss Beth never let me feel like I was alone in that. She listened, she prayed, she reminded me that God hadn't left me, and because of her, I didn't walk away from my faith. I held on. That kind of love, the steady, faithful kind, is what Jesus is talking about in John 13 when he says, "Love one another. Just as I have loved you, you should also love one another." It's what Peter learns in Acts 11 when God shows him that love goes far beyond the limits we think it has. And what we see in Revelation 21, a vision of all things made new, where God wipes away every tear. That's what I want to carry with me. This fall, I'll be heading to University of the Cumberlands in Kentucky, a Christian school where I'll be studying criminal justice, something I've dreamed of for years. I'll also be taking ministry classes because I want to keep growing in my relationship with God and maybe help others grow too. And one simple thing I plan to do, learn people's names. It sounds small, but it's a way of saying you belong. I see you. It's how the circle of love gets wider. And here's my challenge to you. Keep widening the circle. Keep showing up for the next teenager who walks through these doors. Keep loving like Miss Beth does. Keep building a church where no one has to grieve, question, or dream alone. I leave this place with deep gratitude for every hug, every lesson, every moment of love that shaped me, and I walk into what's next with hope, because I know God is already there, making all things new. So let's keep loving one another. That's how the world will see the new creation breaking in. One name, one act of love, one widened circle at a time. Thank you.
In 6th grade, the youth group had a lock-in. It was my first one. Mr. Ian was very adamant that we all needed to learn how to cook. For reference, I have burned pasta by forgetting to add water to the pot, so cooking didn't seem like a great thing for me to be doing, but alas, we did it anyway. That night, Mr. Ian had planned to teach us how to make his world-famous white bean soup. We were previously asked to bring certain ingredients assigned to us, so it wouldn't cost Mr. Ian too much money. Me and my sister were going to bring the garlic and some other ingredient that I can't quite remember. We made what we didn't know yet to be a huge mistake. We brought a jar of minced garlic from the store. It didn't seem like a big deal to us. It works just the same, and it's even cheaper than bringing cloves of garlic. Little did we know that we were so incredibly wrong. We showed up to the lock-in with our jar of garlic, which was met with the disappointment of Mr. Ian. "That is an abomination unto the Lord," he told us as he grabbed his face in shock that we would even dare bring such a thing. He quickly put the jar to the side and frantically searched through his bag for a clove of garlic, which he seems to carry everywhere at this point. He eventually found one, which he instructed us to cut into microscopic pieces for the broth of our soup. After what felt like an eternity of stirring, draining, rinsing, and waiting, our soup was done. Mr. Ian took such pride in the soup we had made. He mentioned every ingredient and how it complemented the dish. The one ingredient that I don't recall hearing, however, was the garlic. After the production that he put on when seeing the jar of garlic, I was shocked that he didn't mention anything about how his fresh garlic made the dish complete. To this day, every time I walk through the grocery store, I take a picture of a jar of pre-minced garlic and text it to Mr. Ian, which is met with the same response from the night we made that soup. Even the little things, such as a jar of garlic, make this church one of the biggest parts of my life. In Acts 11, we are reminded that God's welcome is bigger than it may seem. You all welcomed me and my family all those years ago, and I couldn't be more grateful for that. Each and every interaction, conversation, and smile have made me feel like I was always a part of this family, even when I was too little to remember. As many of you may know, my name is Emily Smith, and I have attended this church for 14 years. I have been a part of many different groups in this church, which have helped me to grow into the person I am now. Growing up, I was a part of Sunday school and kids choir. I also grew up helping with gleaning, food packing for Haiti, and other church events such as the beloved Artie's Party. All of these things were fun, but the thing that I look forward to most was becoming a member of youth group. My sister Megan is 2.5 years older than me, so every Wednesday she came home, she would mention how fun youth group was and what felt like point and laugh that I couldn't go because I was too little. I looked forward to youth group so much that I can remember crying that I wasn't able to go. Now that I've been in youth group for the past 6-ish years of my life, I can proudly say that I love it just as much as I thought I would. The most amazing people in the world, Miss Beth and Mr. Ian, were our volunteer leaders. Why someone would volunteer to watch 20 insane children is a mystery to me, but I'm so glad that they chose to do it anyway. Miss Beth came with us on the pilgrimage to Nova Scotia, where we spent a week strengthening our relationship with God. This trip not only brought me closer to God, but also closer to my fellow youth group members. They are Zachary Guiri, Charlotte Riddle, Sophie Riddle, Jack Grassoff, Jonah Guiri, Tosh Burlingame, Dominic Chin, and Lillian Kretschniak. Those are just a few that went on the pilgrimage, and don't worry, there are more people, but that list was already getting long. This group of kids will forever be some of my best friends. They helped me grow into the person I am today, with, of course, the support of my parents and this congregation. Through hardships, youth group challenges, games, and prayer, you all have taught me many lessons on how to survive in the real world, not just inside these safe walls. One of my favorite memories of attending this church was our cooking competition in Nova Scotia. The task was to make a meal to feed everyone, including a vegetarian, where we would be rated on presentation, taste, and attitude. I was on a team with Zach and Brett, where we made hibachi for everyone. We made fried rice, teriyaki chicken, and steak. It was delicious, and not to brag, but we did win. Training acolytes was another fun experience for me. Miss Beth had asked me to make an appearance to allow the new acolytes to become familiar with someone who had been acolyting for a long time. Mr. Johnson had then asked if I would stay with the kids as he trained them. I may have gotten a little too involved and ended up teaching them what to do and when to do it. I kind of felt bad, as Mr. Johnson simply stepped back and let me teach them the tips and tricks that I learned over the years of acolyting. He seemed very impressed with the way that I was able to connect with the middle schoolers, seeing as I haven't been in middle school for 4 years now. I will miss this church and all the little moments that make it special when I go to college, but I promise to help acolyte when I come back. I'm kidding. Please don't put me back on the schedule. In the readings today, we are told about the promise of a world made new. I am hoping that this new chapter of my life will embellish this part of the scripture. College is going to be a very strange change for me, but I'm very excited and I'm hoping to see God's new world that will be waiting for me over in Tampa. In John 13, we are given the command that love is our distinguishing mark. I hope to bring the mark and memories that this church has given me into this new chapter of my life. My goal for college is to be able to spread kindness and the love that God has given me throughout the gratitude and support that you all have shown me in these past 14 years. You all are my second family, so thank you. Every memory that I have of this church is what I fall on in times of hardship. My love for this church will grow with me throughout the rest of my life. I hope that I will be able to come back to this church and give my future children the same amazing experience that I had growing up in this church. I carry Good Shepherd's love for me into college and beyond. I challenge myself to let God's light shine through me into everyone that I meet. I challenge all of you to do the same. Keep shining God's light through you. For the next generation of people who walk through those doors, be kind. Let God's light shine through you. I love this church with my whole heart, and I appreciate all that everyone in this room has done for me. I also appreciate the love and support I received from all of those who cannot be here with us today, whether they are down the street or looking down from above. Thank you for everything you have done to make me feel like I am truly part of the Good Shepherd family. Thank you.